Hey y'all, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are talking all about the new ABH palette in Sultry. Let's talk about it. So in a couple videos back, I posted my ABH palette collection and I was saying, do we need Sultry? Is it a necessity? Does it look like some of the other ABH palettes? Let's talk about that right now. So first things first, let's get into this. The packaging is different, which I was ecstatic about. One of the cons about ABH is I do not like their packaging. It is normally this velvet felt situation and it gets dirty. And once it gets dirty, there is no way to keep it clean. It is what it is. If I travel with it, if I stick it in my client kit, like if I stick it in my client kit, the packaging is good as gone. It's just dirty, that's it. So they changed the packaging, which I was totally excited about, but I was concerned when I saw that it was glitter because my first thought process was, wow, if that glitter doesn't have some sort of like plastic laminate situation, the glitter is going to get everywhere. I was wrong. You have to rub this palette really hard. I mean, yeah, to even get any of the glitter off. So you don't have to worry about walking around with glitter all over your face for the rest of your life if you own this palette. So beautiful packaging. Now let's open up the baby. As you can see here, we get some great beautiful shimmer tones and we get some mattes here. I have the eyeshadow on my eyes today for this look, but let's go ahead and talk about one of the first cons about this palette. There's no transition shade for me. In my sultry smoky eye, I did go in with a balloon kind of as a transition just to kind of give it a little bit of oomph, but that is not a typical transition shade that I would use personally. So when I saw that, I was kind of like, that's a bust. And the reason why I said that there's no transition shade, because this brown tone right here is deep. I don't ever go in with brown tones that are that dark immediately, just simply because I like to build. So for this eye look, I had to pull out my Soft Glam palette, and for the transition color, I went in with the shade Sienna here just to kind of keep it warm. After that, I took the shade Dystopian. Okay, so Dystopian is a dark brown, almost black. I mean, from afar, just looking at my eyes right now, it looks like a black, but it is a deep dark brown, so pigmented. There wasn't a lot of fallout with it, and I put that right here on the outer crease and just kind of faded it up in here. After that, I went in with this beautiful shade Amber. Amber is that taupey champagne tone. I used the ABH brush to pack it on my eye. Went on very nicely, no issues. I'm debating using that shimmer tone for my wedding day makeup. Not sure yet because my colors are black, champagne, and white, so I might be using that. And then in the inner corner, I had originally went in with the shade Pearl, but I felt like Pearl was just a touch too bright, so I went in with Steampunk. It's just like a little bit more of a gold, but it's not too yellow gold, it's more of a true gold, right in the inner corner. And then for the outer, for the waterline, I took Dystopian again and I blended that out for my waterline. Now let's talk about the mattes. I had no problems with these mattes. The mattes went on, they blended out like a dream. There wasn't a ton of fallout. They had a touch of kick up, but it wasn't anything that was crazy to me. Now as far as the shimmer goes, the shimmers were fantastic. I truly believe that this is probably one of the best formulated ABH palettes. If you're wondering, if you just came here to know if this is subculture, no, this is not subculture. Peace, you got your information, but just kidding, keep watching. But the shimmers in here are so pretty. I could use the ABH brush that came with it. I could use my MAC brush and packed it on, and it went on beautifully. Every time I've worn this eyeshadow palette, I've already had on my foundation and I did not have any issues with the fallout. So I thought that was phenomenal, because that was the one thing that I noticed about the Norvina palette. The shimmers in that palette, they were chunky. And I was like, why is this so chunky? These are smooth, they glide on. I'm thoroughly impressed. I did not think, eating my words, I did not think that I was going to be superly wowed by this palette, just simply because I was like, oh, okay, it's a pretty neutral palette. The cool thing about this palette is when you take a look at it, it's not warm and it's not neutral. In my previous video, I was saying, do we need it? It kind of looks similar to other things. If you have Soft Glam, do you need this? So let's do a comparison here. So on the top, we have Soft Glam. And then on the bottom, we have Sultry. Now that I have this in my hand, Soft Glam looks nothing like Sultry. Soft Glam is a warm tone palette 100%. Sultry is not. Sultry is not warm and it's not cool. Sultry is legit a straight up 100% neutral tone palette, which I think is amazing because the only neutral tone that I really have is the Juvia's Place Warrior palette, and even so, it's neutral, but it's still on the side of a warm neutral. This is like a true neutral palette, if that makes any sense. So now we're sitting here with the question, do you guys need it? I like this palette. I recommend it. I think it's great. I mean, I'm shocked because I just knew I was gonna get up here and say, y'all, this palette ain't all that. It's basic. It is what it is. And the thing is, yes, it is basic, but basics are necessities. When brands come out with neutral palettes, people are like, oh, this is basic. Well, guess what? Basic is what sells, because the most women that wear makeup, just, you know, on an average majority, we're gonna go pull for those neutrals because you're gonna wear those more often than colors. I feel sorry for some brands because it's just like, damn, you can't win. It's like, oh, if you bring them a neutral palette, they're like, oh no, neutral's boring. But then if you bring them a colorful palette, they're kind of like, oh no, I can't wear it. So I think ABH did a good job with this. One thing I will say, I don't think this is a everyday wear kind of palette. And the reason why I'm saying that is because these shimmer tones in here, they are, I'm going out, I'm about to get my life, it's date night kind of shadows. You could wear these, like if I were to wear this just for going to work, I would strictly only put a shimmer on and nothing else, just simply because these shimmers are popping. That's just simply what it is. So this palette is what the name is. This is Sultry. This is a smoky, sexy palette. So for that, I say check it out. I am going to do something with this palette that I've never done with my other ones. So if you have never watched Sam Ravindal, she's a Canadian YouTuber, and let me tell you, she is a true treat. If you have never seen her, I love her witty, dry sense of humor. She's beautiful. The girl's got skills and knowledge. And something that she's been doing, what's the name? It's throwback something. Basically, for a month, she's been using the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice palette all month long, just simply because, you know, we buy makeups, the next things come in and we're on to something new, and so we don't ever really get to thoroughly use it. So basically with that palette, she just did a bunch of looks with it throughout the month, and I thought that was cool. So what I'm also going to do with this palette is I'm going to create another eye look with it, and I was thinking maybe I'm going to see if we can do maybe like a day to night situation with it. That's what we'll do. So let me know down below if you guys like that. Like I always tell you, go into the store, touch it for yourself, swatch it, see if you like it. If you are someone who does not like shimmers, I would say don't get this. Not because the shimmers are bad, but these shimmers are popping. So if you want something that's just a little bit more subdued, this ain't it. But if you're here for the glitz and the glamour and you want to look sultry and sexy and smoky, get this palette, because that is exactly what it is. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. I love y'all. Keep it simple, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.